back on the Divine Conflict Show. We're going to expose the wiles of the devil, and we're going to bring you deeper into this truth and knowledge and take you behind the veil as we've been doing for the last year. We dropped some really heavy stuff for you last year, but we are going to go deeper this year and give you a spiritual understanding of what we are up against and the soul trap system. So let's go ahead and keep it moving. Now, one of the things I want to address today, obviously, is the rebellion against the house of Adam. There is an ongoing movement, a tearing down of the house of Adam that you are seeing. The Eves of this nation are in full rebellion against God and his order, his hierarchy. And the devil, Satan, is actively engaging the female in tearing down the hedge that Adam was appointed. Remember, Adam was appointed the head of the woman. If we go to Corinthians 11, it says, God would have you know that the head of every man is Christ and the head of every woman is the man. All right. So why would God put man, Adam, as the head of the female? God appointed the man head of the woman for a reason, because the woman is far more exposed spiritually than the man. Remember, the male principle and the divine feminine have to work together in unison, because we are locked into this flesh suit, this body system, right? And so the man has to be appointed as head and the authority over the woman, because the woman is far more exposed spiritually than the man ever could be. She's more easily accessible than the man is. Remember, men carry the life spark, the life force. We carry it, and then we give it to the female, and then she is a host for that life force as that baby develops and grows. So men have a far purer system and relationship with God than women do. Remember, the first rebellion was Eve's rebellion against God in the garden, right? We talked about that before. And so men not only provide a physical protection of females through muscle mass and straight force, but we also have a spiritual protection, because we are less susceptible to what is known as demonic attack. And demonic attack is very serious. It happens in a number of ways, and we're getting into this video in a minute. So when we talk about demonic attack, this is proven because when we look at the historical record and we look at some of the studies that have been done on this demonic possession, according to historical and cultural accounts, demonic possession is generally considered to be reported more frequently in women than in men, right? Now, it does happen in both. Not to say that men cannot experience demonic possession, especially with the Jezebelian spirit and the spirit of Ahab. A lot of men and women are carrying these different demonic spirits around, but far more often than not, it is the female that is more susceptible to this spiritual attack than the male. And that is why, one of the reasons why God has appointed man over the woman. All right. Because the women, remember, ladies, women are the host of the flesh suit. OK, you are the host of the sleeve system. We are in the host body system. We call it the soul trap. Sleeve that we call our bodies comes from Eve's rebellion. When Eve rebelled in the Garden of Eden, when she laid with the serpent and produced a hybrid race through the reptilian parthenogenesis, which produced a twin soul body part, the female, part male, part female, was merged into one system. And so we are under that system. He created them, male and female. He created them. Remember in Genesis 5:2. And so the soul trap cycle began at that point of rebellion when Eve produced an offspring. All right. And so the souls would be captured in the flesh body through the reproductive system of the woman. That's why she's more spiritually accessible to the wiles of the devil than the men are. Right. Than the men are. Right. And that's why it says in Ecclesiastes 9:12, it says, for man knoweth, right, not the time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and the birds that are caught in a snare. Right. So you've been caught in a spiritual snare. We have all been caught in the spiritual snare, which is the slave system that we're in, which is called the soul trap. All right. And so the vessels of the soul trap system is the female reproductive system, and it produces an ongoing continuation of trapping souls, right? Trapping light beings into flesh suits. And then we're trapped here. And then we come back again and again and again. That's why when you're born, they call it the amniotic fluid. You lose your memory, right? You lose your memory. You don't remember all the multiple lives you lived here because you're trapped in this system. And you keep coming back again, coming back again. And the devil uses this to keep us locked in, right? And so they have tied a knot with the evil one. And they're more psychic and intuitive in the dark arts and the affairs of the spirit. That is the female energy. That is the divine feminine. That is the divine feminine. That's why a lot of your consorts are witches. Got witches everywhere. A lot of covens, male witches, but you got a lot of female witches that are everywhere. This is why Yahshua, Jesus, Yahweh Shai says we cannot enter the kingdom of heaven unless we be born again. Right? Why would we need to be born again? Right? Spiritually and physically, we need to be born again because we cannot achieve it under the slave system, under the soul trap. Okay. And so the Eves of this nation have reached a rebellion that the world has never seen, This principality of the Jezebelian spirit will drive them to hate men so much that they'll eventually expose themselves. That God, as Adam his world is tore down and the patriarchy is tore down, then she will have no protection whatsoever, and then the beast will devour her. And that was the whole plan to begin with. So he will drive them to work against their own best interests. And so once that hedge of protection is torn down, Satan will devour the female of this world completely. Right? And she is set to be consumed. She's set to be destroyed because of her rebellion against God and her hatred of the law and the order of the patriarchy. And her cup is full of pride. Her cup is full of pride. And speaking of pride, that's where we get into the LGBT. So this is a video of Beatrice Magic. I want you to take a listen to this video real quick. Now you notice when the video opens, she has Lucifer on the back of her jacket, right? The morning star, Lucifer, and she is the name is in the colors of the rainbow, which is the LGBT, and I'm going to get to that in just a second. So this movement of the Lilith spirit, which is the Jezebelian spirit, you're seeing an uprising, a rebellion against the male principle. You're seeing LGBT being pushed in your schools. You're seeing LGBT being pushed all over your movies, your TV, your radio. You're even seeing the United States try to export LGBT to Africa, like countries like Ghana, right? They're going into Sierra Leone. They're going into different areas because they want to spread the twin soul, the twin spirit of the Luciferian culture and the rebellion of Baphomet to the entire world. And I'm going to show you this in a second. So check this out. Okay. Now notice on her jacket here, if you can see that, that's the sigil of Lucifer, right? So she got Lucifer on the back, and then she's got the star, which is the inverted pyramids twisted in of DRACO, right? Now watch. You see that? You see it? This is the Lilith spirit. This is a complete rebellion against all that is good, wholesome, and pure. It used to be that the Luciferians would hide in plain sight, but because there's been such a conversion of the people over to their side, now you'll see them walk in daylight. We call them basically day walkers, just like they did in the movie Blade. They're day walkers now. They don't hide in the dark anymore. They put their plans in plain sight. That's where we are today. Let's pause there. All right. Now we can see again Luciferian symbol here. We see the star here. So all of these sigils and these tattoos, we're going to get into the tattoos. These tattoos are sigils and inscriptions that give a demon power over your body. They give power over your entire body. These are demonic sigils. Sigils have power, spiritual power in the dark world, in the dark arts. So when you see these people with these tattoos on them, right, and these symbols on them, we call them sleeves, right? They're called sleeves for a reason. Now, what is a sleeve? Let's go to the window here, okay? A sleeve in the context of tattoos refers to a large tattoo design that covers a significant portion of the arm, typically the shoulder or the wrist, right? Similar to how a shirt sleeve covers the arms, hence the name, essentially a full arm covered tattoo, which is a sleeve, right? But also remember, a sleeve is also called a body, skin, right? And so your skin is also a sleeve, and it's a sleeve for these demonic entities. So these demons that possess you, they inhabit you, and anything that has a consumption factor to it means that it's demonic. So, you know, like some people are in a demonic spirit of overeating. They eat, they can't stop eating. That is a demon. That's a demonic spirit that causes you to overeat, or you have too much sex, right? Or you do something that's negative to the body too much, you're drinking too much. All of these addictions have a demonic core to them. And that's how you know if they're pure or not, right? They have a demonic drive to them, right? And you'll see that if a person gets a tattoo, you know, some people just get one tattoo and they're done with it. But then some people, they just can't stop. They get one tattoo, then they get another tattoo, then they get 3 more tattoos. So it has a consumptionary feeling and vibe to it, and they can't help themselves. These demonic entities consume the body, and they use these humans as sleeves, which means they use them to possess them. All right, on a spiritual level. We'll get to the physical things that they do on another video, but they do a lot of sexual things physically to these people that mark their bodies up with these tattoos. All right, and so in this video here, you see this woman. She's got all this crazy symbolism, demonic stuff. I'm going to show you. I want to show you one thing in here that I saw. Here we go. Look at it right there. She got the upside down cross. She got 2 crosses that are right side up, and then she's got the cross in the middle that's down. It's upside down. Remember, we said that they hide their plans, you know, upside down, so you can't see it. And I showed you in the last video, you have to flip everything upside down, because you don't see, you and me as human beings in the slave system, in this flesh suit, we do not see things in the correct way. Remember, your eyes, your retina is flipped upside down. So when you're looking outside, your brain has to physically and biochemically turn the image that you're looking at right side up in order to interpret it correctly. Do you understand? So when you see something comes into your eyes, it's upside down, because our retina is tilted upside down. We have to flip that in your brain to see it right side up. It's no different than you can only hear out of one ear at a time. It's just going so fast, it seems like you're hearing out of both ears at the same time, but only one ear you can hear out of at the same time. And it has to flip back and forth in order for you to get the full version of the audio that you're listening to, right? Human beings' eyes are upside down. But DRACO, right? The fiery serpents, seraphim, Nakash, okay? Nakash, they see right side up. They see the world right side up, which is we're going to get into in a second, why that's something you need to understand. So they're always mocking you, because they'll put the cross upside down. They'll do anything they can to mock and make a mockery of God and his realm. All right, now we're going to go to Mega Stallion, because I wanted to get into this from last week. This is Mega Stallion's video. I'm not going to play a lot of it. I just want to show you a few things here. Now, as you see, the heads are situated in different positions, and she's at the top, and there's a red moon behind her. The blood moon is behind her. You need to understand the symbolism of these demonic entities. There's a red moon behind her. There's a sword in the back, and now you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 women's heads in opposite positions under her, almost like a pyramid, almost like a stepping stone. I can pull out the dollar bill and show you how these heads are situated. But I want to show you is that this deals with the snake symbolism. We're dealing with the snake. And remember, the snake's job is to devour the male principle. The snake's job, I'm going to say it again, is to devour the male principle. All right? That's what it does. It devours male energy. And you're living in a time now of the rise of the female rival, according to the scriptures. And you're seeing a complete destruction of the male principle. Now watch. I'm going to show you. See that right there? You see the snake head? Let me show you. In the video here, she just like a brothel, these guys come in, they look at what girl they want to have sex with, and then the guy picks Mega Stallion. All right? Let's try it again. He picks Mega Stallion because she's a sexy one, right? Right? Watch. He's so anxious to have sex with her, he throws his coat off. Look at that, right? They put it right in your face, bro. The snake is devouring Adam. The snake is devouring the male principle. The snake is devouring the patriarchy, because that's what Lucifer's aim is, right? The devil's aim is to destroy God's kingdom. God cannot have a kingdom without proper rulership. The patriarchy is the proper hierarchy of God's kingdom, right? In heaven and here on earth. The snake, which is a female in a male body, which we'll get into the transgender in a minute. Female in a male body, twin system, 23 chromosomes from the male, 23 chromosomes from the female. Remember, we were not male and female. He created them, male and female. Who created? Not God, big G. We're talking about God, little g. We're talking about the seraphim. We're talking about Nakash, the deceiver. When Eve had sex with the serpent and produced this hybrid race. Hybrid race means part male, part female, part reptile. And you have a reptilian core to your brain. All right? And so the snake is devouring Adam. That's what the whole thing is about. Adam gets devoured. Now watch. She walks in there with a guy. You see the snake behind the screen there. She walks in there with the guy. And now she's there by herself. See? All right. Now look, I'm going to show you the symbolism here. Here she is in the water, moving like a snake. I mean, she's actually showing her ass in this video, by the way. She doesn't have any clothes on. You see that? This is the destruction and the attack on the male principle. The male principle. Why do they want to destroy the male principle? Why? Well, why not? Why not? Because that's the aim, and the goal is to destroy the bloodline, right? The bloodline was destroyed first, and then whoever would remain righteous until the coming of God could hold the line. Now they're trying to destroy what's left of Adam, of the patriarchy, of the male principle, of the male principle. Now, that's why I said you have two. There are two. Now it's LGB2S. Two spirits. See, you can't make this up. LGBTQ2S now. They added a 2S on the end of it. Why? Because these people are saying they have two spirits. Two spirits. An umbrella term used by indigenous people to describe their gender, sexual, and or spiritual identity. Spiritual identity. See? So now we have the double system of Lilith that is trapped into the host body system. Right? And this is it. The double spirit. The caduceus. Remember the two snakes. Now, you see this on the United Nations map. This is nothing more than DRACO's symbol to show that the human being, the human body, was mixed with two different genetic lines from the reptile, right? That's all that means if you know what you're looking at. All right. And remember remember on the last video, we talked about Starbucks logo, right? This is the old Starbucks logo, right? They took this logo from Starbucks from this twin-tailed siren, a twin tail. We're talking about the twins again. Let's go back to the LGBT. We're talking about two spirits, a twin spirit. All right. This is why the men are being devoured and the women have fallen over to the evil side. They've fallen over to the evil side. Twin snakes, twin spirits, twin-tailed. And we know that this is representative of Lilith, the Lilith spirit, right? Or the Jezebelian spirit. And we know it has something to do with reproduction, because whenever we see those two tails, fish tails, we know we're dealing with reproduction. We know when we see the caduceus, we're dealing with reproduction. You're in a host body system. All right? Host body system. Right? Now I told you before, how do we know it's a host body system? Well, we know where they came from, the snake. Because the vicegerent on planet Earth, the Earth's representative of Seraphim, of the devil, of the dragon, is the Vatican, is the Pope in Rome. Everybody knows that the Jesuits and the Vatican runs the world. Everybody knows that. And so when you look outside of the Vatican and you look at the building structures, you clearly see two snakes. There's a twin again. There's a snake here, and here's another snake coming off of that snake. And this happens to be the cathedral and the other buildings that represent the reptilian offspring, the hybrid race. Here's the main snake, which is the main reptilian breed. And here is on this side, you see, let me see if you can see that. On this side, now you see this other race popping off on it. You see that? All right. Let's go deeper. Here's St. Peter's Basilica, right? Now, St. Peter's Basilica and St. Paul's Audience Hall. This is St. Paul's Audience Hall. You clearly see the Draco reptilian head here. It's right in front of your face. Right? Why would they make the audience hall look like a serpent? Like, I want you to mull over that. All right? I want you to open your eyes and see the truth that's been hidden in front of you. All right? The building is in the shape of a snake head, and the inside is designed like a snake head with two fangs coming out. Right? Can't make this shit up. Right? So we know what's going on, and we know that we're dealing with a reptilian hybrid race that's ruling the planet, and above them are the actual real reptilians, Draco, Seraphim from the Bible, that are running the whole show. We know that, right? I proved that in the other video. If you haven't seen it, go back and look at it. We went way deep, all right? So you can see that this reptilian theme, snake theme, plays out, right? When you look at the Vatican, and we know the Vatican is the vicegerent on planet Earth. Just is what it is, man. Just is what it is, right? St. Charles, you can see the snake body here, and there's a key, and that's why I'm breaking for you today is a key, right? You see the key on there, out there, and everything. So we have a snake. We have a snake in the audience hall. We have the Pope walking in there. All right. So we clearly know that based on what we're looking at, this is the hierarchy of planet Earth of the hybrid race that's running everything. Right. Now we're going to go into the Basilica. All right. This is St. Peter's Basilica. Now you probably can't see from this angle here. It's a little weird. But if you look at it clearly, let's see, if you look at it the correct way, you will see a portal at the top. You see that portal? Okay, that's how light beings get trapped into this flesh suit. That's how light beings get trapped into this flesh suit. So we come through, right? We come through the male reproductive system into a female reproductive system, which was a hybrid creation to trap angels, to trap light beings into this realm, into this flesh suit, into the sleeve. And if you look at this papal altar correctly, you'll see it's a sheep. It's a sheep head. And I broke that down on the last one. You see the sheep head. There's a snout of the sheep head. That's the eye of the sheep. And remember in the scriptures, right? Yahshua refers to us as sheep because we are sheep, right? So we're coming through the portal and we're born almost like sheep. We don't know that we are in a slave system. We don't understand that we're in a slave system, but I'm going to break that down for you to understand it. So in this portal, you'll see angels falling into it, and they get devoured. Just like I showed you in the Mega Stallion video, they got devoured. The male got devoured. So this is a masculine principle devouring system, because remember, 23 chromosomes from mom, 23 chromosomes from dad, right? That's the abomination. The flesh is the abomination. We were never supposed to be male and female into one body. That was the trap. That's the parthenogenesis that the women are talking about today when they talk about that the first creature on the planet was a woman. Well, the first offspring of Eve was a female. And she's the product of the compilation between Lucifer, the devil, right, Satan, Nakash, and Eve. And so they created an offspring, and then they can reproduce now through the parthenogenesis through that system. And then eventually, through the genetic modifications, through the fusing of the chromosomes, they were able to perfect their creation. That's why they call it the Immaculate Conception. Okay? That's why they call it the Immaculate Conception. Because their conception was immaculate. It was an immaculate conception. Remember that we had at the beginning. All right? After the first intercourse. Right? After the first intercourse. So remember, the reptile can produce through parthenogenesis. And if you know the images of Mary all over the world, if you really go deeper into them, they're nothing more than pictures of the vagina, because it is a vaginal birth. The vaginal birth is their immaculate conception. I'm going to show you that in a second. The vaginal birth is an immaculate conception. We were not born through vaginal birth in the way that we are today. In the beginning, remember, Adam and Eve, they didn't have a belly button. The original Adam and Eve, remember, there are two Adam and Eves in the Genesis story. The original Adam and Eve did not have belly buttons. All right, they didn't have an umbilical cord. All right, so when Eve had intercourse with the devil, with Nakash, then it trapped us into this flesh body system, and they created this flesh body system. And in order to drive the flesh body system, they had to do a couple of things. They had to create a mechanism. They had to create a mechanism by which they could trap us. And this is it. This is it. This is the system that they use. And this is, my friends, is the reproductive system of the male, of the female. And now it's the reproductive system of the male and female. But this is the reproductive system of the female. This is the soul trap here. And it's not to demonize women or make women feel like they're bad. No, this is just what they had to create in order to trap souls in this realm. You can only come in this realm through the womb of a woman, and you can only go out through death. That's the only way you get out of here. This is a trap system. There's no way out. The way you come in is through a female. Okay? All right. Now, let's see if we can break this down further. Let me go here. Now, remember I showed you this, the caduceus, the two snakes, which represents the two genetic lines of the reptilian race blended into the hybrid race that we have become today. Now, this is what Baphomet's all about. I broke this down before, but we're going to go through it again. This is Baphomet, right? Two horns, the crescent moon. I told you about Islam the last time. The crescent moon at the bottom, as above, so below, right? And I told you Baphomet represents what? Baphomet is a hermaphrodite, which represents the two sexes merging into one. That's why they want to do LGBT. That's why we got LGBT. All right? Because that's Lucifer's plan. That's what Lucifer has always wanted, was LGBT for the people. Right? Let me see if I can find it in there. I may have lost it. Yeah, I think I lost it. But that's the LGBT right there, right? He's a hermaphrodite. He has breast, right? And he has a go head, right? That's what the go head is. He's got the same hand symbol that you've seen in some of the pictures depicting Jesus. I'm going to break that down too in a minute. All right. But he is the hermaphroditic race. Remember, the first race was hermaphrodite, part male, part female, part reptile. Where are you getting reptile from? Because when you look at the chakras of the body, right, you have the crown chakra, which is where the star is. Same star baby girl had in the video, right? Look, same star they had in the video. The inverted pyramid cross, you see that? Same one they had in the video is on Baphomet's head. You just have to rotate this about a quarter of a degree and you will have the same thing. All right? You see that? Okay, it's a little different, but you get the idea, right? That's in the crown chakra. That's in the crown chakra. But at the root chakra, what do you have? You have the caduceus. The caduceus, the two snakes. The two snakes representing what? The DNA. And to prove to you it's reptilian DNA, it has the scales behind it. You cannot make this up, bro. You can't make that up. Okay? It has the scales behind it. That lets you know that the reproductive system that we are locked in today is a creation of these Draco reptilian. That's what it is. Right? I just broke down. You probably been trying to figure this out for 50 years. I've broke this down for you right here. And I have a much more detailed video where I go into it a lot deeper. I'm just giving you something to run with. All right. So Draco is running the planet. Draco, Seraphim, which comes out of your Bible. Okay. You are not going to get out of the Bible on this, bro. You can try. I try to dismiss the Bible. Bro, the Bible is right in its act. The Bible laid the whole thing out for you. You just missed it because you didn't have the keys to interpret it. Draco reptilians are one running the planet. Right? Look at that. They put it right in your face. Two snakes coming out, which represents the parthenogenesis, the creation of a new hybrid race, male, female, part reptile. But you don't believe it, huh? Let me show you something. You don't believe me. I know they don't believe me. You will as I continue. Let me cook today. Let me cook. Okay. Humans are related to reptiles. Study says. Study says. All right. I'm not making this up, bro. We're not playing games here today. We're not playing games here today. All of us, you, me, everybody. I don't care what race you are, white, black, Asian, you have reptilian DNA inside of you. Yeah. Scientists have found a link between mammal hair, bird feathers, reptile scales, which says resolves the decade-long scientific debate as to how skin coverings evolved. You have reptile DNA. Okay, you have reptile DNA. I don't care how you want to cut it. Okay, because we're hybrids. You 23andMe, bro. You 23andMe. Cut it out. All right? All right? The DNA of mammals, reptiles, and fishes. Yeah, we are related. We know that already. Because you came from Draco reptilian. We created your flesh bodysuit. Okay, let's go deeper. Let me break it down for you. Let's go deep. Draco reptilian created your flesh bodysuit. Now, I told you before that the papal altar is a goat head. I mean, a sheep head. All the angels are coming in, right? All the light beings are coming in a higher frequency, and they're brought down to third density space through the reproductive system of the male and female here on planet Earth. You're getting trapped in, bro. You're trapped in here, all right? Now, here is the coat of arms of the Pope. Now remember last time I broke this down for you, okay? Let's go through it. At the top we have the crown, which is the beehive. Why do we have the beehive on top of some keys? What do the keys unlock? The keys unlock knowledge and the secret of ages, right? The beehive represents what? Parthenogenesis. Because remember, bees and certain insects can reproduce by what? Parthenogenesis. Then we have two keys, which is the seal over it. You have to recognize reptilian calligraphy, okay? This is reptilian calligraphy. You have to be able to recognize it when you see it. It's the same shit that's on your dollar bill. Okay, same shit that's on your dollar bill. We're gonna get there. All right. Now, in this thing, you see an owl. The owl. Remember, Look about Drake, right? Drake uses, the owl logo. Bohemian Grove, the owl. The owl sees in the dark, which means that while the rest of humanity cannot see the slave system that we're in, the owl can see. The owl is very wise. So this is wisdom. It took wisdom for them to figure out a way to trap angels into a flesh body suit in their rebellion against God. Satan's rebellion against God took wisdom. So the owl is wrapped into this. Then you see the head. You see the human head tucked under that head of the owl. You see that right there? And then you see the chains coming off of the neck, which means you are in bondage, buddy. You and me, you're in bondage. You're in a slave system. You don't know it. You thought the transatlantic slave trade was something. But see, you're in a spiritual slave trade, which is worse than a physical slave trade. You're in a physical bondage, trapped here on planet Earth. You can't get out of here. It's a closed system. And spiritually, you're trapped. Okay? And the bees, again, the 3 bees represent the parthenogenesis, but it's also a dragon face here as well, which I'll break down for you a little later. I don't have time to do it now. There's a dragon here too. Here are the dragon eyes. Let me help you out. Here's the dragon's mouth open. See, whenever you're dealing with reptilian calligraphy, you see multiple images within one image. Because remember, I told you their retinas are turned right side up. Our retinas are upside down. We cannot see all things at one time like they can. So when they do their calligraphy and their art, or when human beings try to copy the calligraphy that they've learned from the reptile race, human beings have a hard time seeing all of it, right? So you have a slave system. This is a slave system you're in, and the tassel's coming off. Now at the bottom, what do you have? You have the head of the devil. That's Lucifer right there. That's the devil right there. That's Satan. That's Draco right there. And guess what that is? That is a vagina. Yep, it's a vagina. Let me show you. Here is the dragon. This is also in the Vatican. There's a dragon here. Same thing. You see the big keys, which means the knowledge. All right. This is also in the Vatican, but I'm showing it to you I'm going away from the coat of arms of the Pope, and I'm showing you what the beast really looks like, so you can understand what we're dealing with. Okay. At the top is the parthenogenesis. Right? The crown represents the reptile. I told you that the last time. This crown, I'm going to show you in a minute, represents reptile. Now you have here 2 ribbons coming out of the bottom of that crown, which connect to the keys. These are the DNA strands. These are the DNA strands of the mixing of the reptilian bloodline with the human bloodline, flesh suits. Okay? And then you have the keys. And then again, you have the owl. The big old owl is right here, except the head is under here. You see that? The head. You're in a slave system, bro. And the dragon has put his seal on you. The dragon has sealed us. Remember, they said this is Satan's world. This will be Satan's time to rule. We're trapped. We're caught in a snare, right? So we're under the rule of Satan now. Okay? And then if you notice, if you look down, you see a body here. You see the arms. You see the legs. You see that? That's what you see there. All right. Now, again, this is a big giant alien head. If you look at it, aliens are already here, bro. Why are you? I know y'all see the orbs and stuff, and y'all, oh, it's orbs. No, the aliens have already been here. They've been here since the beginning. If you just read your Bible, it'll tell you, right? And this is the body of the beast. And at the bottom right here, again, is what? Is what? That is, my friends, the reproductive system of the female. Let's go deeper. All right. Now, as you can see, now I've zoomed in on this dragon character. Now you can see right here at the bottom. Right here at the bottom, you can see it. What do you see? See? They're not playing no games with y'all. Right? This is the secret of ages. I'm showing you right now. This is the secret of ages. You clearly can see the Jeepers Creepers face. Look at that. Jeepers Creepers. That is the face of the devil. You can see his eyes. Now, why? The question you got to ask is, why is this in the Vatican? See, why is something like this in the Vatican? It is because they put it in plain sight. Now, here's the head of this creature. Where the beehive is, again, is showing you that this is protected under wisdom. There's a key, there's a secret key to knowledge here that locks the human being into this hybrid race. They are using us for souls. They're using our souls as containers. And every time you die, you get reincarnated back into the slave trap, back into the soul trap. That's why we have to get with, Yahshua, to be reborn again, so that you're not born into this thing again. We're locked in a perpetual state of hell. Hell is not just when you die. You're born into hell. That's what we're in now. Okay? You need to understand this. And so this reptilian calligraphy shows you the slave head trapped under the owl, the dragon insignia. Then you have the alien head. This is a huge alien head if you see it. Right? The beehive, again, representing the parthenogenesis. That was their immaculate conception. That was how they tricked God and they deceived the other angels, and the fallen came down to earth because they figured out a way to bypass God's creation. And they trapped us into this flesh suit. Part male, part female, part reptilian. If you don't believe that part, go to the other video I did. I broke it all down. Okay? But my point for this one is, if we go into it, we see at the bottom here, the legs are where the face of the devil is. In the root chakra, the reproductive system. You're in a reproductive slave system. That's what you're in. Well, how do you know? Well, let me show you. Let me show you. Look at that. See, they put it right in your face. That is the secret symbol with the tongue sticking out. DRACO. That's how you know. They all working for DRACO. But I want to show you this right here. I'm going to show you this right here. All right. Right. I want to show you this right here. See, this is the female reproductive system. Fallopian tubes. The ovary. Right. And you know it's their immaculate conception. This is the same thing you see when you see Mother Mary. This is the same calligraphy. Same fucking calligraphy, bro. This is the same thing. This is their immaculate conception. This is their immaculate conception. That's what they were able to build. A reproductive system that would trap souls. I know it's heavy. I know. A reproductive system that traps souls. That's what the ram head is all about. Right? And they talk about the power of the animal, represents pre-ovulation phase, menstrual cycle, springtime, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, that's butterflies and rainbows. We're talking about why was this system produced and what does it do? Remember, we said the reproductive system of the female is a portal. And the sperm is a life force that the man puts into that portal. And when he puts his sperm into that portal, it resonates. And then we pull in, when you see the cell light up, we pull in a soul. That's how it works. Pulls in the soul right on the spot from the sperm. Pulls the soul right on in. It's a soul trap system. That's what they were able to produce and create. That's what they were able to produce and create. That's the reproductive system of the female. That's the goat head. That's Baphomet. That's the whole nine. Right? That's what it is. That's what it is. Don't let them fool you. All right? Coat of arms. Remember, I showed you. Right? Don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you. This is the secret of ages. And at the bottom is what? The reproductive system. The mouth of Satan and the head of Satan is the female reproductive system. It is the feminine. The divine feminine energy is Luciferian energy. The divine feminine energy is Luciferian energy. Which is fine if it's in balance. Like the patriarchy energy, the masculine principle is fine if it's in balance, but out of balance, then we got problems, right? And so I showed you already the snake and the parthenogenesis. I showed you all of that, right? So that's where that is. Now, Now, let's go back here. Let's go here. I want to show you something. Right? So we all on the same page. We don't have no problems. All right? Now, that's what they do. That's what they do. Okay? You see Trump doing it, Obama, bad. You see that? Okay? That's what they all do. They all know the secret. Now, the Pope is putting up the owl. I showed you the owl on the last picture. Let me show you the owl again, just in case y'all are confused by it, because I know it's kind of heavy. You gotta reproduce, repeat yourself, because people will lose it. Okay, that's the owl right there. There's an owl head. There's the owl body. There's the owl head right there. All right. All right. Go head. Owl head. All right. There's a sheep head. A portal. Souls are coming into the portal through the reproductive process that was their immaculate conception, which is seraphim, nakash, fiery serpent, reptilian. All right, starting to make sense now, right? Reptilian bloodline here, and there's a branch off of the reptilian bloodline, which is the human hybrid race, a twin system. LGBT wants to be what? Right? They want to be what? Twin system. There's the caduceus, and there you have it. Twin system. The reproductive system of the female. Remember, we can only come into this realm from a female reproductive system. Is a soul trap. It is a perpetual soul trap. It will produce millions and millions of babies, and it traps those souls. And it will work on its own. Long as people want to have sex and reproduce, they're going to produce more children. And every child, every new human being that's born is a new cage for another soul. Every human being that's born is a new cage for another soul. And so they contain these souls, and they use the souls to create other beings. I'm going to get into that on the next lecture. Not this one. Okay? Let's go back to the reproductive system. Now here. Okay, so Pope's using the owl face. Justin Bieber, owl face. Justin Bieber's finally coming back around, because he's gone on a crazy ride dealing with these crazy Hollywood personalities and what have you. He's starting to come back around now to understand the light and come back to Yahweh Shai, and that's what we need. But a lot of people have been destroyed by these Draco reptilian beings, right? A lot of people have been destroyed. All right. Now, we talked about this before, right? Midnight Meat Train. I keep telling y'all that this pyramid, right? It's the same pyramid that's in the girl's video. That pyramid is not y'all symbol. Okay. All my Pan-Africanists, Black Power, Kemites, going back to Kemet, that pyramid is not your symbol. That pyramid is Draco reptilian symbol. That is Draco's symbol. That's not your symbol. That's Draco's symbol. How do I know? Because I know who made the pyramid and who the pyramid belongs to. That is their symbol. That is their symbol. I'm not saying y'all didn't help build the pyramid. Y'all tried to make a replica of one of their spaceships. You try to make a replica of it. That triangle is their symbol. Right? And Bradley Cooper has it right here in the movie. Right here in the movie. They put it on your dollar bill. They put it right on your dollar bill. See? Now let me show you something else. We're talking about the female reproductive system. We're talking about Draco. Okay? Draco is right in front of your face. It's always been here. Don't let these people try to lie to you and tell you, oh, the orbs are these aliens that came from another. No, the Draco has always been here in your face. They put it right in your face. All right? Draco's been here. This is Draco's realm. The 200 fallen angels are Draco. Draco and his fallen angels that came down to planet Earth. That's Draco. Super wise serpents. Super wise reptilians. Right? They've been here doing the whole thing. And they work against you spiritually, because it's a spiritual war. It's not just a physical war, spiritual war. They are masters in genetics. They are masters in genetics. They're the ones who fused the chromosome. They're the ones who added 23 in me right? That's why you got your 23andMe DNA test, 23 from the mama, 23 from the father. See, we were never supposed to be that. We were never supposed to be part male, part female, part reptile. That was never God's intention for us, but we fell into the trap. And so we're under their system. The only way to get out of this thing is to be reborn again through Yahweh Shai, right? Yahshua. Now, if you notice the calligraphy on the dollar bill, they put it in your face. I'm going to back it up a little bit because it may become clearer to you what you're looking at. All right. The head is always, it's got a reptilian head right in front of you. It's a reptilian head right in front of you, bro. There's the chin. Here are the eyes. That's the crown plate, which is a shield that a helmet type device that they wear. And there is the stars on the top, which means they are illuminated, which means they are Lucifer. Right? So you got to understand how this thing works. All right? You got to understand how this thing works. We're not playing no games. No game. I got receipts after receipt after receipt for you if you need it. All right? That is Draco Reptilian right on your dollar bill. Now, of course, if it's not blurry, it looks like a regular eagle. No problem. Right? Remember I told you when you're looking at Draco, it's multiple levels to their shit. Remember I told you that it's multiple levels. Here's a dragon. The dragon's mouth is open and bees are coming out of the mouth. Right? But it's also an owl. Right? And it's also the queen of heaven, which is a female. I could break all that down for you. So remember, you're not just looking at an eagle. You're looking at an eagle. You're looking at a Draco reptilian head face. You're looking at a head shield. Bro, they're not playing no games because remember, their retinas are turned right side up. Your retina's turned upside down because you have to flip all your images. Just keeping it real with y'all. Just keeping it real with y'all. All right. So Bradley Cooper, we know who they are, bro. This is the soul trap. All right. This is the soul trap. I'm going to take this out. Okay. That's the soul trap. All right. Now I told you last time. Who's who? Right? Okay? Now, the calligraphy that they use is multidimensional. When you look at it, it's on different levels. Okay, there's an hourglass. There's a skeleton head. There looks like some crazy bones in there, right? But remember, all of this is just the calligraphy of reptilian vision. It's a reptile head. It's a reptile head and it's a sheep head. Here are the ears folded over at the top. See? Bah. It's a sheep head. It's a sheep head. Right? Now, here's a temple. Here's a temple. Now remember we talked about this before. All right, this is a temple and you have to flip everything upside down. Remember, they hide their plans from the Lord and turn everything upside down. Remember that? They hide their plans from the Lord and turn everything upside down. Right? And so you have to flip their artwork in order to see who they are. Now, who did the Aztecs and the Incas and the Mayas, who were they sacrificing to? You got to start asking questions, right? Who were they sacrificing to? And you got the reptilian on top. You see that? You got this calligraphy that's like fallopian tube green stuff going around the sides. Right? But when we rotate it, and I'm going to show you in a second, when we rotate this around, now you're going to see they hide their plans from the Lord. They hide everything upside down. That's why you got to flip everything because your retina can't see it right. Now that you flipped it, now you see what it is, right? Right? Isaiah 29 says what? Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord. They work in the dark. Their works are in the dark. Right? Surely your turning things upside down should be esteemed. See? You turn it upside down, boom. Now you see what it really is. You see the green devil face? See, this artwork was done, I think 600 AD on one of the temples in South America. So, there's no way you could make this up. They hide their plans upside down. Looks like a reptilioid or reptoid something, right? There it is right there. But it's also a sheep. Remember I said they see in dimensions. It's a sheep as well. So whoever did the artwork understood what they were doing. Right? Understood that what they were trying to represent here was a secret within a secret. A truth within a truth. We call it a double entendre in the rap world. When you make a double meaning, some of these are triple entendre, visual triple entendre images, where you see something within something within something. Right? Now, I talked about this earlier. Now you can see here clearly that that's a sheep head. The ears are down here. The nose, there's a snout, there's a nose, there's the bottom of the teeth. Look at that. See that? Why would they make a head of a sheep, which is the seat, right, at the Vatican? And at the top of the head of the sheep, there's a portal where souls are falling into a system. You got to ask yourself that. Right? We're in a soul trap. And the destruction of the male principle is what they're trying to do now. They're on their last stand. After they destroy the male principle, they'll have full control over the planet. They're making a real straight move to control the whole planet. The men are bucking. The men are falling off the sides because they don't have any balls. Right? Here's the portal, a closer look at the portal. Look at all the angels. Right? And if you go deeper, I have another picture. You'll see the semen. All of this is semen, sperm. There's sperm that these angels are swimming in, which means that they're going to transition from a spiritual realm, right, the higher realm, into a physical realm through the sperm, which comes into the female reproductive system at the bottom. Yeah, bro, it's that deep. It's that deep. All right. And so we're going to leave that there. Go through some more calligraphy. There we go. Now, let's go back to it. Now, remember, the double-headed eagle does not represent America. The double-headed eagle in masonry with the 33 degrees, and you see, I told you whose symbol is the pyramid. I told you the symbol of the pyramid is Draco's. Draco is the pyramid, is the symbol of the pyramid. That's Draco, right? Draco is the one that's rolling the pyramid, right? That's Draco's symbol, right? Now, they needed 33 degrees of knowledge to convert certain things into that reproductive system. But remember, knowledge is respected in wisdom, right? Now, you see the double-headed eagle. The double-headed eagle is a metaphor. It's a symbolism of the two opposing natures. The two opposing natures. One male, one female. One male, one female combined into one body. Using the magic, using the wisdom of the fallen. That's what you're looking at. And at the top of this merging of two species, remember, female used to be XX and male used to be YY. There was no XY. XX only. YY only. Then Seraphim came in and said, we're going to genetically merge these two opposing. See, that's why the flesh is so corrupted, because we have if you're a woman, you have a man inside of you, and if you're a man, you have a woman inside of you, and they're fighting. That's why the flesh is corrupted. That's why you can't get along. That's why everybody's fighting, because we're not supposed to be in a flesh suit, part male, part female, part reptilian. We're not supposed to be that. It's an abomination. So this is what they created. This was their immaculate conception. That's their immaculate conception. All right? And you need to understand that. The symbology, when you see this, you know what you're looking at. Right? There's a sword at the bottom, and the sword represents how they cut the DNA strand. Now, even on the coins, they put it in your face. Even on the coins. Right? And it can't be no plainer than this. All right? It can't be no plainer than this. Now, again, you can see on this coin right here at the very top, we have what? We have the pyramid, which is Draco, the Palladian Draco symbol. At the bottom of the pyramid, we have what? A snake head. A snake head. Yep. And then we have the two opposite natures combined to produce an offspring hybrid race. That's what we got. We got the orb, then we got the staff. Remember, the Draco reptilians always carry the staff. All right? So you have a snake head on top. I mean, if you don't know if you think that's a crown, you can continue to think that. That is a snake head. That represents the Draco reptilian race. And there's a little tongue sticking out right there at the bottom. You see that little tongue sticking out? They put it right in your face, bro. Right? So I'm just teaching you how to code break these symbols so you understand what we're looking at. All right? Very, very important. All right? Let's look at one more. There you go. There you go right there. Now look at that one. See? We ain't playing no games now, bro. Okay, you ain't playing no games with that one. That's clearly a snake head at the top, right? Right, if I'm being honest, right? If we being honest, that's a snake head at the top. Remember, the two DNA strands are coming out of the snake's head, which means this is the knowledge of the snake in their mouth of the snake. This is the tongue, but the tongue is symbolically representing the DNA strands that were pushed out, right? Remember, I showed you the Vatican, one snake and then another snake branching off of it, right? Two natures combined. This is where they did the stitch on the chromosome. They put it right in front of your face, bro. And then the strand goes here into two other heads to create the hybrid race. All right, and they just represented it with these phoenix rising allegories. But at the end of the day, we know exactly what this represents. It's a double U. Yep, a double U. All right, let me pull that back so you can see it better. Right. Clearly a snake head, right? Genesis was what? Nakash, who was in the garden, talked to Eve, got Eve to have sex with her. The whole humanity fell. How could the whole race of humanity fall just because one woman bit a piece of fruit? Think about it. Okay? It wasn't just a piece of fruit. She had sex with the serpent. And she got pregnant by the serpent. And that's what started the hybrid race. See? And they have the ability to do parthenogenesis. Because remember, Adam and Eve didn't have no belly buttons. Right? So they can do parthenogenesis after they fall. After she took sexual intercourse with the serpent, right? She produced offspring. Right? Some people say Cain was her offspring from the devil. And other people say Abel was Adam's offspring. All right, we'll get into that on another lecture. But nonetheless, we know that the human race was downgraded. Was downgraded. All right. So you see it right there. Now, I'm gonna get into that another time. I don't want to get into that today. It's too much. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, now you see a polyon right there. Now they got the Draco standing right there. I mean, it's all in your face if you're just paying attention. Now remember, you got the orb in the hand, in the left hand, and the staff in the right. Orb in the left hand, staff in the right means they're using magic, which means they are protecting their creation. You see this orb everywhere, everywhere. Look at it right there. They're protecting their creation. Even in ancient literature, they wrote about the orbs. Okay, so these orbs ain't nothing new. These orbs are part of the Earth's defense mechanism. So whenever human beings start trying to create nuclear bombs and stuff, it's part of the Earth's defense mechanism. That's how they're able to track it. All right. Now look, see, these things are playing out all the time, all the time, all the time. Woe to those who dig deep to hide their plans from the Lord. In darkness they do their works and say, "Whoa, who sees us? And who will know?" You have turned things upside down, as if the potter were regarded as the clay. That's what they do. They turn it all upside down. They turn it upside down, right? So we're going to get into that another time, but appreciate the lecture, and we'll see you on the next one.